What's going on, everyone? So we had a crazy day in the markets. I hope you guys all profited extremely well today. So just kind of looking at the overall markets, we're going to dive into Nvidia stock here. We're going to talk about potentially, what is the game plan going into tomorrow, into the remainder of this week. Kind of talk about the price action that we had today. Nvidia was up 5.5% at $13 on the close, and we closed at $255. So one thing that I kind of do want to point out here is that, yesterday, if we kind of look at the close, right? So if I go to the daily chart here and we look at yesterday's close, let's actually start off with the triple Qs, right? Which is the NASDAQ 100. So in Discord, I had posted this downward trend line here that we were testing yesterday on the close. Now, one thing, as traders, we have to kind of look at here, forget about the news, right? Forget about, what's going on with the banks, forget about all that stuff. What you need to focus on is the technicals, right? Because all of that stuff, all that outside influence, bank bailouts, banks crashing, bank run this, everyone seems to be some sort of financial expert now these days. Forget all that noise, right? The close that we had yesterday was at the top of the range. Okay, so when your index, right? So predominantly, I'm going to trade stocks located within the triple Q, which is a NASDAQ 100, right? I'm going to be trading in the Nvidias of the world, the Metas, the Amazons, the Apples, the Teslas. When your index closes at the top of its range and is on the verge of a breakout, okay, you cannot come into the market ready to sell. You cannot come into the market trying to short tops. If you do that, you might make a little bit of money, get stopped out, and watch the stock continue to go $2 or $3 against you. Okay. What you need to focus on is, if we confirm these levels, how much room do we have to stretch? If you kind of look at the triple Q's chart here, we've got, yesterday was the first close over the linear regression. We were over the 5, 10, and 20-day moving average. Why would we try to short? Okay. Why would we be looking to time a top? Why would we not just sit back, wait for the level to confirm, and then try to maximize on it? Today was a crazy, crazy day. We haven't really had a day like this in quite some time. This is not going to be normal. This is not something you're going to see every single day. Tomorrow, we could put in an inside bar day. We can come all the way back down and back test this trend line here at around 300. What we need to do is make sure that we are following stocks and trading stocks that are going to have the maximum amount of potential, right? There's thousands of stocks in the market. Every day, things are moving. It doesn't mean that they're moving higher, okay? Why would you want to trade things that are moving 40, 50 cents when you have other stocks moving dollars, right? $4, $5, $6, $10, right? If you're playing options, yes, maybe the percentages might be big. So for example, you can trade a smaller name that maybe necessarily has 80 cents worth of room, and you get a 50-cent move on it, and those contracts move 30 or 40%. At the end of the day, you're only taking a small piece of that pie. Unless you're trading 50, 100 of those contracts to really capitalize on dollar moves that you're missing out on stocks like, for example, today Meta was up $7, AMD was up $7, Google was up 5, Amazon was up 4, Tesla up 3.5, Apple up 3, Nvidia up 13, obviously the leader of the day. So if we kind of just get into what's going on here with Nvidia, and we kind of look at what was going on here, I've been waiting for this Nvidia trade for, just about over a week and a half, right? And the reason why is because ever since we had the major gap up here on earnings, we held. And even when the market was selling off, this never really lost its 20-day moving average. And in fact, was just kind of riding in between the 5 and 10-day moving average, which was extremely strong. You can see here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 days, which is 3 trading weeks going sideways. Anytime you get this much sideways consolidation, a big move is coming. Whether that move be to the downside, if we were to start to lose that 222 and 217, or we were to finally break that 244, was going to be your determining factor. Today, we broke the 244, and we pretty much did not even put in a downtick. If we kind of look at what happened here off the open, if we look at the 1-hour candlesticks, you can see right off the open, we had a little bit of a pullback here into this rising 20 SMA, and then we reclosed back over the 5 and 10 on the 1-hour time frame. If you look at the pre-market highs, was sitting at 244.31. This was your breakout pivot. We got this breakout at 7 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. This was your entry here. Not only in 1 hour did it go and confirm 244, but ran all the way up to a price of 247. This was a hell of a trade in itself. This trade could have made your trading week, could have made your trading P&L for the week. Okay. Now, obviously you want to sell into this supply zone here, which was this Bollinger Band here. And you always want to hold a runner, and you want to use break even as your stop, because when you use break even as your stop, it now becomes a free trade. This proceeded to run all the way to a high of 255 for a potential, if we look at the entry here from 243 all the way up to 255, you're looking at the full 12 to 13 point move that you could have essentially caught on Nvidia without even a downtick. There would have been no reason for you to get shaken out of this trade. In fact, I traded Nvidia today and I still have a runner. I sold contracts consistently throughout the day, and I'm holding one remaining contract at a $240 strike price, and that contract is currently up 210% at $1,000 and some change. One contract, I had 10, right? Now if I would have held all 10, obviously that would have been a phenomenal day. But one of these trades that comes along every so often, maybe once a month, maybe once every month and a half, can really make up your P&L. All the other days mixed in between is just cash flow. You just want to take quick cash, quick cash, quick cash, quick cash. And when you get these major breakout moves to the upside or to the downside is when you want to really maximize your exposure to those all day kind of moves and all day kind of trends. So where does Nvidia go from here? We're going to have to pull up the weekly time frame. If we look at the weekly time frame, this is also a weekly breakout over the 244, essentially has room to stretch into 300 on this next leg. If we continue to run and we continue to put in legs higher, 300 would be the next stop, the next price target. Obviously, we're not going to just go up straight 45, 50 points. There's going to be some chop. There's going to be some down days. There's going to be some pause days, but this is the next leg that we are in here. I would expect maybe an inside pull back into the 240s and see 240s hold again. That would be a good reload spot. If you're looking to bounce or reload, maybe look at the 233 on the weekly time frame, or if we go to the daily, maybe let's look at the 230. Okay, so 230 would be the 20-day moving average. If you want a little bit more aggressive bounce spot, we would be looking at around 238. Okay, so that's still some ways down to go. Now, if you've missed the move, can you chase this? You can, but technically, rule-based trading for swings, you've got to use the previous day's low as your stop. So if you chase this tomorrow, or we continue to push higher over today's highs, and you get an entry price over 255, either you're thinking two things. You're thinking cash flow, where I'm going to get in, take $1, $2, $3, lock in my cash, or I'm going to take cash flow on a few contracts or a few lots, depending on if you're trading equities or options. And then what you're going to do is let that runner go, and you're going to have to use the previous day's low as your stop, which is its 5-day moving average, currently sitting at around $240. That's a hell of a lot of risk to put on for someone with a small account. Okay, but if the market's going to continue to go, and it's going to continue to go up another 10, 15, 20 points, you're going to make out just fine. Now, there was multiple 260 calls coming in, 260 calls, 260 calls, 260 calls all over the options flow today. So maybe we tap out at around 260 this week. Maybe we do kind of pull back in the morning. That's when we're going to have to kind of look at a dip buy for tomorrow. What am I looking for tomorrow? I'm looking for a pullback into 250 to 251 for a potential dip buy. The aggressive dip buy is sitting here at around 254. Okay, a little bit more of a safer pullback would be down here at 246. If we do not get here, this is going to be your next zone here between 250 and around 252. This would be the zone that you're going to want to buy the dip off of, and you're going to want to hold this play back up through 258 into 260. I hope this video helps. Again, congratulations to everyone who had a phenomenal day today. If you guys want to get more information on how you guys can kind of trade these levels of these supply and demand zones, you kind of want to learn technical analysis from a little bit more of a professional standpoint. Again, I'm not the smartest guy in the room, but however, I understand what these lines mean. I understand what it means when we break out of consolidation and where potentially we could be heading. And when we do get there, where we could potentially stall before there's a next leg up, or we have a potential back test, where we should be bouncing stocks. If you guys do not know where you should be bouncing stocks, you definitely need to join Evolution Traders. get in the classroom there, get in all of the trading webinars, and get in the live community and Discord so you can start talking to other traders who are doing this. Get my entry levels, my watch list, my pivot levels, intraday technical analysis, one-on-one mindset help coaching. All of that can be found at evolutiontraders.com. I will see you guys all in the next video.